Welcome to this training on how to submit the 2023 AOC and how to avoid common errors. The topics to be covered in this training include who needs to complete an annual owner certification or AOC, when is the 2023 AOC due, what do you do if your project has affordable housing program funding in addition to LIHTC, how do you submit the AOC, and some common errors and how to avoid them. So first you need to identify if your project is required to complete an AOC or if an AOC is required for your project. If your project has no buildings that have placed in service, or if you have buildings or a building that has placed in service between January 1st, 2023 and December 31st, 2023, but the owner has elected to begin the tax credit period the year following the year the building placed in service, then you do not need to complete an AOC form for that project. However, if one or more buildings have placed in service and first-year credits were claimed in 2023 or prior, then you must complete the AOC form. So you can verify the date a building or a bin placed in service and the credit period start date on the IRS Form 8609. Part 1, number 5, will tell you the date that building or bin placed in service. If that building or bin placed in service between January 1st, 2023 and December 31st, 2023, and if you verify the credit period start date in Part 2, number 10A on IRS Form 8609, and the owner elected to begin their credits in the same year, that first year the building placed in service, indicated by a yes answer, then you would be required to submit an AOC for the year 2023. If the owner did not elect to begin credits the same year the building placed in service, and the building placed in service in 2023, then you do not need to submit an AOC form for that project. So mark your calendar because the AOC for 2023 is due March 1st, 2024. Again, 2023 AOC due March 1st, 2024. Now, before you begin to fill out the AOC, wait just a minute and ask yourself, does this project have layered funding? That is, your project is in the low-income housing tax credit program and there's other layered funding on that project, such as home or home with a community housing development organization set aside, the Neighborhood Stabilization Program, NSP, or the TCAP Tax Credit Assistance Program, or Housing Trust Fund, or any combination thereof, you will need to complete an additional form. Pursuant to IRC Section 42, the IRS Internal Revenue Service monitoring regulations require all tax credit properties to annually submit the AOC to the Tax Credit Agency, Georgia DCA in this case. So if you have claimed tax credits, or if there are any low-income tenants at the project, and the owner has claimed credits for any building bin in 2023 or prior, as of and up to date 12/31/2023, or if your project is in the extended use period, then you must complete the AOC form. When it comes to other funding, any affordable housing program project from other funding sources, that is, with or without layered low-income housing tax credit or LIHTC, must complete an additional supplemental AOC form and upload that form to the miscellaneous section of the Emphasis Certification portal. When uploading the form to the Emphasis Certification portal, please follow this naming convention: 2023, Other Funding, AOC, and then the assigned Georgia ID. Typical assigned Georgia IDs are 4 digits, followed by a dash, followed by 3 digits. However, when the project has other funding or additional funding other than LIHTC, sometimes the Georgia ID has additional characters in it. So be sure that you are providing the accurate Georgia ID for the project. To access the supplemental AOC form for other funding or for other funding layered with LIHTC, go to the DCA website at www.dca.ga.gov. On the landing page, click on the tile that says Safe and Affordable Housing. Next, it will take you to this page. Scroll down about halfway till you see the section that reads Rental Housing Development. When you reach the Rental Housing Development section, click on the link that says Compliance Monitoring. Once you click Compliance Monitoring, it'll take you to the next page. Scroll down to the bottom till you see a set of tiles that looks like this. Click on the tile in the upper right-hand corner that reads Annual Owner Certification AOC. Once you click on that tile, after you click the AOC tile, you'll be taken to the next page. In the body of the text of that page, you will see a link that says This Form. Click on the word This Form and it will bring up this page or this form. This is the AOC for other funding or supplemental AOC form. Here, you will need to scroll down to the section of this form that applies to the funding structure of your project. Once you reach that section of this form, complete the steps for that section. Okay, great. So now here are the steps on how to submit the AOC at a quick glance. There are 10 steps here listed. Some things to note. Step 3, do not forget to enter the certification period as January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023. And step 9, please don't forget to rename the signed PDF using the following naming format of 2023 AOC Georgia ID. You can use this page to come back to at any time in the presentation if you want to see all of the steps at once. So while you have the steps at a quick glance, I'm going to break down each step from here. So step 1 on how to submit the AOC within the Emphasis Certification portal. First, or step 1, log into the Emphasis Certification portal using your unique login credentials. Next, you need to navigate to the property for which you wish to complete the AOC. You can navigate to a property using the project's unique Georgia identification number or Georgia ID, or you can enter the property name or any part of the property name and click search. Okay, so once you log into the Emphasis Certification portal, you will be taken to the Emphasis Certification portal homepage. On the homepage, you will see a tile that says Annual Owner Cert not submitted. On January 1st, 2024, that year will change to 2023 Annual Owner Cert. That lets you know that you are working in the 2023 AOC reporting year. Click on View on that tile. Once you click on View, it's going to open up the actual digital AOC form, as you see below. The first thing that you want to do when the form opens is go ahead and enter that new certification period at the top of the page. Again, the new certification period is 1/1/2023 through 12/31/2023. Please note that DCA will return properties with incorrect certification periods via the certification portal. You will need to go back into the certification portal, correct the certification period, and then resubmit the form. Once you've ensured that you've entered the correct certification period, you need to now complete the AOC questions as applicable to your property. Save or save and close, and then submit the certification. So firstly, make sure that you scroll down all the way to the bottom of the form to answer all applicable questions to your property. If you need to step away, you can save the document and step away, or you can save and close and even come back at a later time, and everything that you've entered will be stored. Once you are completed, be sure that you submit the certification. Only once you hit submit has your form been submitted to DCA via the Emphasis Certification Portal. Once you submit the certification, if you simply log out of the certification portal or just refresh the page, you will see that the tile that once read not submitted in the color red has now changed to submitted and the color yellow. This indicates that you're almost done. Click View on that yellow tile, and it will take you to a printable version of the AOC form. Click on the Annual Owner Certification form to bring up the printable version of this form. Okay, so here's the printable version of this form. If you notice that these fields have not been completed, then you need to stop and email the compliance team at compliance@dca.ga.gov and let them know that you need to make a correction because these fields need to be completed in the digital version. In other words, you need to type your responses in these fields. Otherwise, if you don't catch the error, DCA will, and they will email you and let you know you need to go back into the certification portal in the digital version and correct these errors. The undersigned field should be completed by the person who is completing the form on behalf of should be the name of the developer or owner that has given the undersigned the permission or the power to complete the form. Once you've gone into the certification portal and you've made these corrections in the digital version, repeat those steps again and click on the Annual Owner Certification form to bring the printable version back up. All right, so now you're in the printable version of the form. Those fields have been corrected. Click on the top right-hand corner and print to PDF. Once you print, a PDF version will be generated and you need to print the form out. In blue or black ink, the owner, general partner, or developer needs to complete and sign the field that is labeled by. Again, the field titled by needs to be signed in blue or black ink by the general partner, owner or developer. Likewise, print the owner, developer, or general partner needs to print the ownership entity in this field. They also need to print their title. And please do not forget to date. The date should be the actual date the form was signed. Note, the printed version does not need to be notarized. Again, the printed version does not need to be notarized. Okay, so once your owner, developer, general partner has signed their name to the printed PDF version of the AOC in blue or black ink, you now need to upload the printed version into your computing system. Once you upload the form into your computing system, please do not forget to rename the file using the naming convention that is required for the AOC. That is 2023 AOC and your unique Georgia ID. Notice that the file type is a PDF. Save the file on your computer in a place where you can find it easily. Next, go back into the Emphasis Certification portal, and on the left-hand pane, you will see Upload Files. Click on Upload Files and scroll down to the bottom to a folder labeled Miscellaneous. In this folder, click on New, as in you need to upload a new file. Once you click on New, navigate to your saved AOC, wherever you saved it on your computer, and upload it into the Emphasis Certification portal. Once you do that, you will see that your file will show up in the Miscellaneous folder here. Note, if you had to complete the other funding AOC or the supplemental AOC, you will follow the exact same steps to upload the file, scroll down to Miscellaneous, click New, and you will likewise upload the form for other funding that you completed previously. That form will also be stored in the Miscellaneous folder. Now remember, if you have other funding layered with LIHTC, then you should have submitted two forms, the Emphasis Certification Portal AOC and the supplemental AOC form found on the DCA website, which is only a printable version of a form. Again, I repeat, if your project is layered, then you are submitting two AOCs, the Emphasis Certification digital version and the AOC form found on the DCA website for other funding. If you only have other funding and there is no LIHTC on the property or the project, then you will only have one form in this miscellaneous folder. It is the form that was found on the DCA website labeled Other Funding. Okay? Once one form or both are uploaded into the miscellaneous folder, into the certification portal, you are now complete. Okay, congratulations. You have successfully completed your 2023 AOC. All right, so now year after year, we find some common errors that come up. So now we're going to discuss those common errors and how to avoid them. The first common error that we see on the AOC submission is the incorrect certification period. So pursuant to IRC Section 42, if there are any low-income tenants at the project, and the owner has claimed credits for any building or bin in 2023 or prior as of 12/31/2023, then you need to submit an AOC for that project. Therefore, the correct certification period should read 1/1/2023 through 12/31/2023. To avoid this error, take a moment and just slow down. Although there are many steps to submitting the AOC, the process really is not long, and you can complete these steps relatively quickly. So just take your time, slow down, and be sure that you've entered the certification period at the top of the page in the emphasis certification AOC form. Also, if you're not sure if your project requires an AOC submission, then review the IRS Form 8609. Remember, Part 1 contains the place in service date. You can verify that the project placed in service in 2023, and Part 2, 10A, contains the credit period start year. Verify the credit period start year that the project owner claimed credits in the same year the project placed in service. So if the project placed in service in 2023 and credits were claimed in 2023, then you must submit an AOC for that project. Again, if you meet these requirements, then you enter the credit period 1/1/2023 through 12/31/2023 under the new certification period on the AOC form. As a reminder, incorrect certification periods will result in your AOC being returned. The next common error that we see is the incorrect property ID. It is imperative that you provide the correct property ID so that the AOC is linked to the correct project. Firstly, if the project has a land use restrictive agreement or a LORA, then the project is funded with home program funds, or it's layered with home program funds. The Georgia ID for these projects are typically a 4 numbers, which is usually the allocation funding year, followed by a dash, and then a 3-digit number that begins with the number 5. The Georgia ID could contain an additional character or additional characters to denote a difference, most likely in funding, from the typical tax credit project. Either way, you can verify the Georgia ID on any of the following documents: the LORA, the final allocation application, or lastly, just log into the Emphasis Certification portal, type in your project name, and the project ID, Georgia ID, attached to the project name will show up. Verify that you're using the correct Georgia identification number. Another common error that we see frequently is the AOC not being signed and not containing a date. So how do you avoid this? Well, firstly, don't forget to print the AOC form in PDF format. If the form is not printed and uploaded into the certification portal, then it is not complete. The person completing the form types their name and types the owner entity's name in the undersign and on behalf fields. However, on the printed form, the owner needs to sign in the by field, provide the ownership entity name and their title, and they need to date it. So again, there's a difference between the digital form and the PDF form. So how do you avoid this error? Well, the digital version is the form that's completed online. The PDF version is the printed form. So make sure that you complete the form in Emphasis, that's completing the digital version of the AOC. Print the form in PDF format to get the PDF version of the AOC. sign and date the printed form. The owner, developer, partner signs and dates the printed form, and then the printed form gets uploaded to the miscellaneous folder in the Emphasis certification portal. This is the difference between your AOC being submitted versus your AOC being completed. When you've completed the digital version and hit Submit Tenant Cert, Emphasis will show you that you have submitted the AOC. But once the form has been signed, dated, and uploaded, and it has been received by DCA and reviewed, then the AOC tile will change to green and it will read completed. And that's it. That's how you complete the 2023 AOC. I hope that you found this training helpful. If you have any questions, you are more than welcome to email the training team at opm_training@dca.ga.gov. You can also email and send all direct questions about the AOC to our compliance team at compliance@dca.ga.gov. We'll see you at the next training. Thanks.